Guess what? Today, you are going to draw Abe Lincoln. Skeptical much? Sure, I would be too, especially if I had no drawing experience before. But accomplishing any task is all about how you organize information. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the introduction to this video, that the secret to observational drawing is to break images down into simple shapes. And after you make the shapes, you focus on the quality of the edges of the shapes. If you're a brand new aspiring artist, this is the channel for you. We break images down like pieces to a puzzle. Let's begin. Step 1. Make a perfect square about 3/4 of the way up your piece of paper. Step 2. Make these circular shapes on the upper corners of your square shape. Step 3. Give your square some lips and try not to have nightmares. Step 4. Give your square a nose and the 2 wrinkle lines that go outside of the square. Step 5. Place eyes in the upper corners of the square. Notice that the upper eyelid is a rainbow shape and the pupil and iris is a U shape. Step 6. Use your observation skills and add the lines that I just added. I recommend that you use the outer edges of the circular shapes from step 2 to gauge how far out the edge of the face shape goes. Step 7. It's not Abe Lincoln without a beard. Add the beard now. Step 8. Abraham Lincoln had really good hearing. Add the ears now. Step 9. I just added 3 new shapes. The forehead is the biggest one of the 3. Add the 3 shapes now. Step 10 is less important. Add the shirt shape. Don't worry if you do not make this perfectly. It will not affect the likeness. Step 11. Add the lines that I just added. Step 12. Give Abe some shoulders. Step 13. Give Abe some eyebrows. Okay, so there might be one thing that confused you from the introduction, and that was the edges of the shapes. So I would like to elaborate on that. Basically, I gave you shapes. There's the forehead shape, the eye shapes, the nose shape, with the 2 wrinkle lines coming out of it, and so forth. Everything was shapes. The edges of the shapes vary quite a bit. This is a very hard line right over in here. You have a much softer line over in here, and each one of these shapes has a very, very varied edges. Hard line over here, soft line over here at the bottom of this shape, and that's what you're going to consider in the next part. In terms of tones, you have the darkest darks down over in here. Nothing compares to this region, at least on the face. Yes, the clothing, this gets very dark. He's starting to get a little bit gray over on the sides, but you have a very dark region over in here. You're going to use observation in this part. You're going to watch me shade with you. But what I recommend that you do is you watch the shading one time through, and then shade along with me, and pause the video whenever you feel that I went far enough, and then shade, and then play it again. Alright, so now we are starting the actual shading, and we're going to start, of course, with the eye region. That's where I usually start off. And if you notice, I put a line straight down there on only one side of the nose. If you're looking at the reference image, you see that there's a solid shadow on one side, and on the other side, it's really a highlight. So we don't want to leave any indications of a bridge of the nose on our left, on his right-hand side. So let's start considering shaping the face, because our whole purpose is to create an image or a translation of a three-dimensional Abraham Lincoln. None of us alive today have seen Abraham Lincoln except maybe my channel mascot, Little Old Man. But we want it to be popping right out of the paper. And how do we achieve that? We achieve that through building tones. And like really, really looking at this high quality photograph. And in my opinion, this is the best photograph of Lincoln. And really noticing where the face, where the tones in the face change. And if you notice, look to the right side, his left, at the left side of his head, our right. Look at all of those tones that are there. That will really make or break this image. That's where the most complex shading happens. His face is pretty illuminated, and this is a very high contrast photograph. So keep that in mind. You want to use, if you have them, you want to use a set of drawing pencils, going from, HB all the way to 8B. That would be ideal for this. I see, again, I would save that 8B for that area underneath the beard, and of course in the clothing. But there's some 7B regions over underneath the ear, on the top of the hair, on the top of the forehead, bottom part of the hair, that gets pretty dark. His inner ear, the side of his head. The eyes, you'll notice, I will make a change to. You're going to see me erase if I haven't done. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't liking that, and that's something you want to leave that little highlight underneath the eye. It's like a little horseshoe shape, underneath the pupil and iris, and that will enhance the image a little bit further. Look at that shadow that I've been working on over there. You'll see me spend most of my time over on this side of the face, and I'm just basically looking at the reference image and looking at the complexity of that shadow. A little bit of extra hatching above the eyebrow right over there, and you're going to see me smudge it. You're going to see me pull some with the eraser. Bottom line that all aspiring artists should hear from this is I have been doing this for years, and I very rarely get it right the first time. It's a give and take process. You shade a little bit, you take some away. I go through so many erasers, but that's a good thing. At least we have the flexibility to make changes when we're drawing. It kind of takes the fear away out of the equation, so that's a good thing. You saw me use my fingers a little bit to smudge, but I try not to. I used the blending stump, and actually I didn't use a blending stump in this, forgive me. I used a paintbrush in this, and yeah, a lot of cross-hatching. But you could also use a blending stump, you could use a Q-tip if you don't have one of those. Now I'm adding in the darkest darks in the beard. You're going to see me go over that with another pencil. That transition area over to the lips is very crucial. You're probably noticing now that the bottom lip is in super strong highlight. The upper lip is very, very thin. That's one of the unique features of Abraham Lincoln's face. Very thin upper lip, and at least in this photograph, a protruding bottom lip and very heavy shadow underneath the lip. And then you have the shadow of the beard. I've read a lot about Abe Lincoln. He said that he did not like his face. He kind of dissed himself on several different situations, and really complex man. He supposedly had depression over a great period of his life, and a lot of people forget this. He stated in his I'm sorry, I'm partially a history teacher too. Stated in his inaugural address, I just said that wrong, inaugural address, that his main focus when he first became president was to preserve the Union, and whether or not that affected slavery or not, his main goal was to keep the United States together. I'm going off on a history tangent. Sorry. And that's not to take away from Lincoln. Great man who literally gave his life, to better America. But we're trying to do him justice here, and we're putting on the finishing touches to the clothing. Um, I kind of just flattened out the clothing a bit. A lot of people get mad at me when I do this, but I do more than I usually do with the clothing. I'm just trying to finish the image there, and um, even on the shirt, I followed the same philosophy that I did with the face. Add some hatching, and then take some away, and then you get a complexity to it. Anyway, that is the final image right there. And if you choose to do this video, take a video of your drawing and post it as a video response to this video. And I will critique the first 10 video responses that you guys make, and I will be sure to comment on them. Thank you everybody so much for watching.